Hi, my name is Ogechi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for coming back. If you've been here before and if you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, or in this video, I want to talk about why are there so few record labels in Nigeria. I didn't do any research on the foreign market, but growing up, I already knew of RCA, Sony, and a host of other record labels that have kept growing and even have baby companies. Like they have a parent company, then they have other mini labels under it that are signing artists, grooming artists, and other creatives, including producers and songwriters. So I think it's more obvious to me that there's been efforts to always build labels, or people who have interest in building labels keep doing that abroad. But here, I think I've been seeing the same four, five, maybe labels in Nigeria, the same ones doing all the work, like for people that need a platform. It's important to ask this question to me because I have a passion for music. I have a passion to write songs that are inside of me, or I believe I was given a gift. So I started at a young age, or a younger age, because I'm not even old now. But I started at a much younger age looking for, oh, how can I get into a label? How can I get in? I spent so much time doing that, thinking, I mean, I just have to burn my sounds onto a CD and go to somebody's doorstep. But when you Google record label and address at that time, you will not even find anything legit. In the end of most of my searches, I end up in what do they call it, in addresses that don't even exist as a label. It's just something shabby, or maybe somebody's house, or it's just a ploy to get you to enter wahala, things like that. So it's quite disappointing when I look at it that the country I'm from, where I am, and as somebody who is not yet as rich as I want to be, I can't own a label yet. So I'm going to look for somebody who has one and can give me a platform to be bigger. So why don't we have enough? Is it the economy being that bad? Before the economy even got this bad, this question has been in my mind. Like, if you are on my Twitter or ever have been on my Twitter, you would see that these are some of the things I keep asking or randomly tweeting about, because I just wonder, why would it only be Maven Records that has churned out over 15 new artists to us in the last decade? Why would it only be YBNL that has churned out some superstars as well? Why would it only be what's even the third one? Oh, I think that would be DNW, and they had people like Caesar Millie. Then they had Yonda. They had some other budding artists under them who are even songwriters now, including Peruzzi. So why would it only be those labels I can mention off the top of my head? It's quite sad for a country of over 100 million people. If I'm not wrong, wait. Let me do my math. I don't really know math there, but we're so many. We're millions of people, and out of that number of millions, the creatives that work in music space would be maybe 20%, or even the children that are growing that will become interested in it. The number is increasing every day. Plus videographers, photographers, those are part of people that join teams in labels. So if they are not growing in number, that is the number of labels we have, and the population continues to grow, I think it's a cry for help. And it is one of the reasons we are seeing many of our artists having to go out there and get signed, because they need to be globalized. But can't we do it here? Some people say there's no money. Okay, so let me focus on today, which today that is evident that there's not a lot of money. And even if you do have money, the purchasing power is so bad. But I'll start from maybe 2021, when COVID had ended, and I think everybody was getting back on their feet and people started to make money. To be fair, I don't think that when people make money, they they think of other people first. So maybe that could be one of the reasons that somebody that made money after COVID did not say, "Oh, I want to go and open one music academy that can help." Da 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 da. That's a very fair point. It's your money; you do with it what you want. But as an industry, if you have the interest of your country at heart, and you know that music is such a great export, when you make money in as somebody who is in the music industry, does it not worry you to a certain point? Because for me, it worries me. I think about the generation behind. I think about myself too, like, oh, how have I not gone beyond a certain point at this time in my career, and how can I get there? But I don't see a lot of labels willing to answer these questions. There is no reality of where somebody wakes up and says, I want to submit to different labels. It almost looks like you need to look for somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody before you can find an opportunity. A bunch of times over the years, people have come to my DM, oh, I know a label, a new label that's looking for a singer. Oh, can you play an instrument? Some of the times I don't get the call because maybe I can't play an instrument or the person just never gets back to me. But there actually are people looking for artists, singers, songwriters to sign, but they tell their friend to tell their friend to tell. Why is it that way? Is it the gatekeeping thing that's causing it, or is that the method that works? I i think that the music industry in Nigeria could do with a lot more transparency, and we could love each other a lot more. Maybe if there was more love, maybe if there was more love, it won't get to a point where it only has to be who you know that knows somebody that will tell somebody. It will be a thing of Maven Records is looking for a new artist and they're saying this is how it works. But instead, we just wake up one day and say, oh, new sign, new sign. Not bad. A bunch of people are getting signed and I'm happy for them, but I think the number is still so small. And it's not the fault of the labels that exist, if you ask me. It's more of the fault of the labels that do not exist. There are so many millionaires and billionaires in this country who could channel their funds differently. And also some people who have blown up from music or been signed before, and they could go on to make labels because they've been empowered, but they don't. Once they make the money, they either go and hide their head or they turn the label to their own label for themselves, for their people. And I think that's selfish. So that's why I said we could do with a lot more love. If you love more of your own people, I think you would look for a way to, is the word give back. It's not by force anyways, but you would look for a way to give back. And I hope to have the opportunity one day, maybe not to open a label, but at least to fund artists, because there's another way to go. You have money, you're an independent investor, you draw up contracts, you find a team, and you do maybe management services, or you just sponsor an artist and they are seemingly independent. There are other ways to do it than label, label, label. So I did some research. I think I asked on Twitter, which year was that? Maybe last year. And people gave a bunch of answers to, oh, there's this label, oh, there's that label. They wrote a bunch of names. And I went to actually check. I saw some of them. There's Cake Business, there's Blown Boy Entertainment, there's new entertainment outfits out there. But it turns out that most of these ones, when I still check, are created for someone who left a label, most likely. You get? So is it really still helping in the long run when it's really just the same face? I'm not saying, oh, because somebody has blown up once in Nigeria, they need to stop their career to start sponsoring other artists. But it is just, we can't keep fighting for a global audience and not have a lot of representatives. It's like if we were going to war, we would need more soldiers. So to me, this music industry is that kind of, you can put those side by side and say we need more people on a pedestal for the world to see, so that they can fight the battles of, oh, this is how great African music is. Just the way you need more soldiers to say, oh, this is how this country won the battle, because they had a lot of soldiers fighting. Yes, there are many artists. If you check for underground artists, in fact, tweet now that you want to sign somebody, you will see tons and tons and tons. So if there is already a supply, why is nobody demanding? How can it get to a point where there is more demand for artists? I really, really look forward to a time where there are more labels not hiding, so interested in signing people, because life is generally tough, and a lot of people have this passion for music growing up, just like I did, and don't even know what to do with it. But that's where labels come in. They are the ones who shape, who groom, who teach. As much as these days we are self-learning, but labels will do that. They will teach you things. They will help you with a path. Have you ever seen when a basketballer is young and scouts are looking for them and they start to coach them? Oh, this is how you try and combine school. Oh, this is how much time or hours you need to practice so you can be better with basketball. So if it is that structured in so many other industries like sports, what is happening in this Nigerian music industry? Why can I only count 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 label or outfits? And when you tally all those number of labels, still upon still, you won't come up with more than 50 artists that have come out from those labels. Instead, you'll find that many other artists that blew up in Nigeria just blew up from uh their own strength. Maybe they made money doing something else, and then they had an outfit and they did some songs, blew up. It's not really that the numbers of labels we have is matching up to the number of artists we've actually churned out in mainstream. It turns out that the labels we have are maybe even overburdened and pressured to sign more, because it's like, why is this label? No, I don't know if it happens to them there, but like the way I see it is that they're thinking, oh, a lot of people expect so much from them to sign more. But I think the problem lies in, why are there no more, much more labels? There just needs to be more. You can't be in a country of this many people, so many creatives that are talented that I've come across, and every time the issue is there is no money, I'm not signed, I don't have a team. You can't do it all. I wanted to be a songwriter, and because of that I was forced to sing, because I couldn't sell my songs without showing people that this is how the song sounded. So I started putting out records in 2016, just to show people every time they asked me that, this is what I sound like, and these are the type of songs I can write. This is how good my writing is. Do I have to get to that point when I can just walk up to a label the way they used to run it? What's the name of that record? Is it Aquila Records? The one that had with New Houston that year, where they will be sending in demos of songwriters and the label is sieving through it to pick the right song for her. It was so nice to watch some of those biopics of past stars. Every time I pay attention to it, that there is a process, a structure in that foreign music scene that we don't have here. It got so enticing. At some point, I'm like, maybe I leave the country and I go and I find my footing there in the music industry. But it's not even that easy too. And even if I'm being honest with myself, I really, really, really love my country and I want things to happen here. I also want to be part of people that will make things happen, because music is so impactful. It can do so much in shaping the way you think. It is music from some people that taught me, oh, you have to be resilient, you have to stay hardworking. A woman has her strength. I learned some of these from wordings of songs, because I don't know how God did it, but music is so memorable. You listen to whatever you listen to, kind of has a way to influence your thoughts. That's why sometimes you wake up, play worship music, play positive, inspirational music, and it gets you through the day. Or you're in the mood, you play the kind of songs that make you happy. It's that impactful. So it seems like some people with money are not ready to really do the most. And those even that are doing as much as they can are not coming forward to say, this is what I want to do. Then there's another angle to this, where people say, oh, labels are not finding artists that are serious, da 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 da. I beg to differ. If you ask me for 10 serious, and when I say serious, I mean people that, if you ask them for demos, if you ask them, are you ready to stand on your feet in the studio for 24 hours straight, that kind of serious, I know 10 and more. I just don't want to go beyond 10, because in case they ask me, make a mention. Yeah, but I know people that are serious. So who are you guys referring to that are serious? It's just normal. In a world where we're so many, of course there will be people who just, I want to be an artist, I want to be, it looks nice, it looks good. But you can find passion in somebody if you pay attention. If you listen to music, you can tell this is a serious artist. If you pay attention to their social media, you can find people. So I think if one of the comebacks when I ask these questions is why are there no labels, more labels in Nigeria, is we're not finding the artists that are serious, or we're not finding the artists. People need to go check social media. If you go on social media and use the hashtag unsigned artist, independent artist, things like that, singer, you will find people. And if you don't even know, just the way I've just said, ask other people or tweet it. You'll see answers. There's another topic I would bring up another time, which is why there are not many female signings. But for now, it is just about why there are no labels, because generally men and women need to be signed. We need more young people coming up and giving us the sauce, the flavor, the nice music that we'd always need. Because I mean, you can't go to a party and they won't play music. You want to be nodding to yourself? No, we need more music. And it's just time and season moves so quick that as much as you think you want to play your favorite song from 2009, we still want to hear what is going on in 2024 or 2025, the new types of sound, the new songs, the new ideas people are coming up with, and blending with old ones. That's why we have DJs. Yeah, so I think we can never really stop making music, but we need more artists to get to the mainstream. I'm tired of listening to people talk about artists and it's the same 10 people. It's boring to me. I love many of our Nigerian artists. I listen to our music, even up to underground artists. I will play them almost every other day on my playlist, but I think there can be more. I think we need to love each other more. I think people that have money need to look for how they could invest in this industry. It's a very lucrative one. Yes, money gets chopped or eaten up by music because you can't really tell what blows. But the more we go ahead in this thing, the more we check, the more you can see that there are certain patterns or structures that if you put in place, you are not going to waste money. If you feel like throwing 100 million naira away on an artist, that's just you in 2024. There are so many, not certain, but strategic ways to put money down, and you would see at least some returns or some promise of returns. So if the issue may be some people are scared to spend their money on artists, or more, is there any venture these days that you are not spending and you may not lose? Even people that are doing sports betting every damn day, they are losing money, but they hope to win one big amount one day. Yeah. So that's how it works with everything. Don't we shouldn't in Nigeria, maybe I think we look at the gifts people have with levity. You don't think that music is such a beautiful and lucrative gift. Somebody being able to have an ear for music, someone being able to make notes, sing in a way that is unique from others, someone being able to on the spot create melodies and make songs, somebody being able to make projects in few weeks is to me na talent plus skill plus discipline and everything. But it's such an it's a revered talent and skill for me when you talk about music creative. So I think maybe people need to look at those things on a pedestal, like this thing is actually that valuable. Maybe you want to look at music like food because people don't eat music literally. Maybe that's why we're not taking it serious. You don't think it's worth investing in. Or more, if any investor comes across this, I tell you today, it is worth investing in. Like people that I've checked, what's this guy's name? John Lennon. There's this other songwriter that's so popular abroad. They're making money for generations to come. John Lennon should be one of the richest songwriters ever. His generations will forever eat. Yeah, and same with other songwriters I may not remember calling right now. It's just like every other investment or venture. Opening a label is that. Now, another part of this record label thing is in my last 5 years chasing music up and down, I've met one, two, three, at least three people who were rich guys from abroad or in between. They have money and they want to open a label. But the issue I noticed with the three of them was they had no structure. There was name, they had registered the name, there's money. They also had trust issues. They were not able to open their arms and say, this is what I want to put on the table. They were not coming plain. They were not bringing the contract forward. It always seems shady. By the time we have a bunch of conversations back and forth, the issue becomes they're not willing to put the contract down first. They want to see what you can. And to me, in every business venture, in fact, before you walk out of an office, you shake hands on it and you say, my lawyer will draw up a contract and we're going to get to work. So why is it not the same for artists and labels? Why were those people skeptical? Why were they running away from it? You have a dream to open a label. You see talented, amazing people around you who are giving you their best, like they are bearing their mind to you and telling you, oh yes, these are things I do. I've sent you demos. I've shown you what I can do. I've shown you myself performing. I've shown you literally everything you need. You know where I live. You know my family members. To that point, then, oh yeah, now start the label. Now they issue the deal. So that's another thing. People that may have that idea, that may have that burden, I want to open a label, they're so scared. They're afraid to take the leap of faith. So if you don't believe in artists as much, maybe that's another problem. That's why there are not a lot of labels. Many people who can fund a label are not trusting enough of the artists they want to bring on board. They also are not ready to bring more people on board. E.g., I think every label should have an A&R. They should have like an operations person. They should have the manager for the artist. They should have producers. They should have maybe engineers on their payroll and things like that would make work smooth. So when they are doing marketing meetings, everything, the marketers are there. The idea boxes are in the room. Many people that I met, okay, there are not many. I mentioned just three. I'm sure there are more than that, maybe 5 people that were interested in opening labels. They were not just ready to bring many people on board. Then there were 1 or 2 out of those people who, the people they were willing to bring on board, it's like, I think one of my brother, this one of my cousin, this one of my, and I'm like, in a family business, now run. However, if your brother and your cousin have their place in the right, their heart in the right place, rather, I think it's not a bad thing. But I noticed over time that some of those people were just, I want to eat my brother's money, who wants to open a label. They don't even have the knowledge of anything, but the sentiment. And business cannot be run with sentiment. Nope, it cannot. So that could be part of the issues. The structure, the manpower that you're trying to use to build a label, even the drive and the trust in the artist is not there. So it's sad. We need to get beyond that point. Maybe we'd have more labels. I've met with rich men before. I'm not very rich. I hope to be someday, but I've met with a lot of rich men, and that seems to be the recurring problem. You can't trust people enough to give them money. Also, there's this other side to it. Some of them do not actually want people to be bigger than them. And when they begin to see that an artist can actually become big, so big that to be greeting somebody, sir, they'll be afraid they won't get that anymore. But I'm not one of those people. However, I've seen artists turn around and buy fingers that fed them. So maybe that's part of the issues. But when you're taking a chance on an investment, you are taking a chance through and through. Maybe do your background research. The reason you may keep coming across artists who will not appreciate or who want to run at the slightest chance of, oh, I've made a hit or something, is because maybe you're not putting the right parameters to check in place. If you want to know the dips on the, like, for example, I think a label and an artist relationship is like marriage when you sign a contract. So if you want to meet a wife or a husband, you will go and do your background search that time. They'll go to the village, check the mama of the person, check if they get crazy for family, check, those type of things. They want to know your bloodline. Why are you not taking your time to check your artist that way? If you take your time and stop rushing and thinking you want to make money quick, you may just pick the wrong artist. It's more spiritual than physical sometimes also. So if you don't pay attention to how is this artist like, you will definitely see ungrateful ones come to you, and it will spoil the momentum you have to keep signing artists. Yeah, so those are my views on this thing. I don't know. I don't know how much it costs to start a label, but to the best of my knowledge, you would need like a, let's just say, a label house, so to speak, because accommodation is tough, and being able to work at a fast pace with many of your creatives would involve them being in the same room, being able to do things quick, not every time virtual calls and all that. So you need a label house, which would also have a studio and maybe an in-house producer. If not, there's still good music made from when people send beats. So it's starting from little things. Like I say little things because to me, as a rich man, getting a house and a fully furnished studio shouldn't be a big deal. Shouldn't be a big deal. And those are the two key things. Then you look for your talents to now start coming in. One of the people I met was saying, oh, they're just building the studio for the label. Every time that people want to do labels that I've come across, it seems like they're not even ready. I'm more ready than them. You are just building the place we'll be doing. You're just building the place we'll be doing this thing, and you're saying you've opened label. You have not opened label. If you check Maven's record online, you'll see a properly done website. You would see the artists they've had over the years and a bunch of things that would even show you that I'm on allergies with this. So you will see where their office is in Lagos if you search enough. So these things should be in place. Maybe there was not always a Maven's HQ, but they must have had somewhere they started. I recall some of their artists speaking on, oh, we used to be housed somewhere. And if you don't even have that preparation for your artist, how are you interested in making, or rather, how are you making the right steps towards creating your label? So yeah, some of these people I've met that want to own labels or run labels have some of the wrong mindsets. They can do better. It's not just about having money. It is, what is the plan? Who are the people executing this plan? What are our goals? What are the time frames? If we're not making or meeting our goals, how do we, re-strategize? Those are the things that people need to sit down, talk about. And we need to trust each other more. We need to love each other more. People who are from foreign countries are doing their thing and we can collaborate. But first, I know you. Like, I live in this country. You are the one I know. You are supposed to be my brother, my sister. We are from the same country. So I think we need to start from here, do things. And that's the only way to reduce the number of people that we have who are talents going out there to get signed. Another thing is this: how much more money do people even need to make in this life? They say human being wants and needs are insatiable. We never get satisfied. But at some point, being an artist, you need to learn that discipline. Like, after making so much money here, maybe because the economy is going bad, people still run over there and try to look for some way to come together and build and all that. It's not bad though. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just sad. We could do better here. There's so many, like I said before, so many millionaires and billionaires. Maybe when we sit down with these people, we need to speak the right things, ask the right questions, and form the right chains of connections to collectively build more labels and more management outfits. I know that there are many of those, but it turns out that with management outfits, the few times I've reached out, they want me to pay them money to manage me. But if I was blown up, like the word blown up, I'm blown up in Jesus' name. But if I was blown up, they won't need that. They feel like I have such a value that they just need to work with me and leverage that. But it needs to get to a point where these management outfits are seeing that value already without me having or amassing the number of streams they expect and the fan base they expect. But if you already see and believe in this artist or in this songwriter or in this, even up to a cameraman, they are still creative. If you believe in that person, you will start from there. Yeah, that's what I think. So there's so much to be done. I hope I get more money in the next short while. So that I mean, what I would probably do. Okay, let me just speak for myself. If I do see, let's just say a good amount of money, like 200, 300 millionaire, I may not be able to open an actual label that will be as big as what we're seeing right now, but I think I'll be able to sponsor an artist with some plans and see how it turns out. Maybe not me, because to be fair, if I've never said this, if you don't know this about me, I don't necessarily want to be an artist. I want to write songs and put it in the mouth of people, different kinds of songs. Sometimes when I write some songs, I'm like, oh, this song is for me. But there's some I write and I'm like, nah, this for this person, this for that person, this is for someone else, this is for a guy that sounds like this is for, so there's visions in my head already. And if I see such money, I will most likely put it in somebody who I believe in so much. And when I say put it in somebody, there's so much to change in the life of an artist. And to you, 300, 200 million may not be a lot, but maybe because of the way I know my money management, it can work. We start off with rebranding them clothes wise, like their wardrobe, how they look. We get them content materials like what I'm using now, a good phone, a good place to make content. We get them the thing that can make all the music happen. I'm not going to have to mention like studio stuff now. You already get the idea. So those are small things, and then the housing and all that. With us, my small, supposedly small 200, 300 million, I will do wonders in one person's life. And if it doesn't work, that's another thing. There's no do or die in this music thing. At some point, you try someone else and keep going with maybe the one behind, of which I believe that when you start to put your hand in an artist's life, there's just a level of change. That is, as a sponsor, a label person, there's a certain level of change that would happen whether they blow up the way you expect or not. Their life will start to change and they can be a blessing to somebody else. Then I move to another artist with as little as much of the 200, 300 million I have left. It may sound that she's just talking, but almost when you practice things with 20K and you see results, or 200,000 or 2 million, what are we talking about? Why do people always make things look like it's impossible when really we got anything's possible? So I think we need to get out of that fear box. If you're one of those people who may even have money that is so small, make that move today. Like some people are making hits without even spending 100 million, while some are spending 100 million and not making hits at all. So if it is obviously a level playing field, why are there not more people making that move, pushing? Why are the labels that we even have only sticking to a few artists? It's a burden on my heart. I think it feels like I'm doing therapy for myself. But yeah, that's it for me with this topic. We can have more. We need more labels. I hope to help more labels to grow in this country before I die. I really hope so. Like, it would really help a lot of artists that are lost in the world. And trust me, there are many. And when I say artists that are lost, it would mean the ones who are serious. Yeah. So it can just be better. And I hope that it gets better. I hope so. I really hope that it gets better. I hope that by 2025 they would announce more. There was this label that came up, Do or Die International, or Do or Die record label. I googled it when it came out. I saw the press they did, the pictures on the news and everything, and I checked them just a few weeks ago. They're no more moving. Their page is not even moving. I'm like, what's happening? And at that time they were saying they wanted to sign somebody, and I think they did sign one guy. I saw him doing some, those regular things, and somehow it just looked like they disappeared off the face of the earth. Is there, maybe I'm missing something? Is there somebody in the shadows, like, juju, that is blocking the way? When a label starts, they come and block it because they don't want people to get out of poverty. Because getting signed is one of the ways to get out of poverty, whether we accept it or not. I'm not saying go and blow your advance on Benz and everything, yeah. That is not what I mean by getting out of poverty. But when you already have a vision and somebody comes and pays you with money and the structure and every other resource you need, come on, it's short to, except maybe there's way for it from me. I think it's short to do something positive for an artist, and if the artist has a good mind, they now in turn bless somebody else's life. It's like paying it forward. So I think that that's what a label would, or more labels in Nigeria would help with. Also, there's the profit making aspect. So I understand that labels want to make profits. That's okay. But that is why you structure things, so you know how to recoup. There always has to be that plan in every business on how you recoup what you are doing. And most business ventures are for profit making, except non-government or non-profit organizations rather. So I'm not disputing that you're spending money to get money, but there is always a way. Don't run. If you are here and you have calling to drop to open label, open management outfits to help artists, come on, do that, please. Because you don't think so, but the next best motivational speaker is in one person's song. Next best, I got out of depression when I heard this song, is in somebody's song, and you don't know who that person is around you that needs to be signed. Also, if you're somebody who is in places where you can speak the word for someone in a good place, please do stop holding back opportunities. I promise you, helping other people is not going to take out of your light. There are people who I've also met that will say heaven and earth, and they never put paper down. Like, there's words, you can even say that they have money. Like I was saying before, I've met a bunch of rich people, so they'll say they have money and everything, but when it comes to actually taking action, it's crazy that I see less and less and less and less of them actually taking action. So it's very, very, very sad that I'm already complaining that not enough labels. Then people are coming on that guys of, yes, so I get label, or I want to label. Then you're not really serious with it. When me, my whole life is I want to write songs. Then you're coming to use me to do hanky panky. It's crazy. I've come across it at least 3, 4, 5 times in my whole chase for the music, where people would talk big, and do so little. So that could be another issue. The fact that some of these labels that may or may not exist are not that serious when an artist is serious. So please, let's change. Let's do better. What else? Let's just have more labels in Nigeria, please. That's just it. Let's just, whatever the reasons are, if you're afraid, if you're scared, just kick it. Other investments are like that. There is no venture that you will not risk. And investing in label or investing in artists or creatives is very lucrative. You need to see beyond the value of their blown first. They can actually be that asset without the blow up. Like, let's just are people not seeing American people? I'll be waiting. I don't want to have to keep juxtaposing foreign and our label, but I say our label, our industry, but it's just the truth. Abroad, they are doing so much better structurally for music and with having managements and labels. So Nigeria, come on. Africa, come on. Like, I want to hear that a Ghanaian label is signing Nigerians. I want to hear that Nigerian label is signing Ghanaian. I need that. The love needs to grow. There is money. Let's stop saying there's no money. Maybe the economy is bad, but people are probably more scared to use the money for things like this than the fact that there's no money. I think this should wrap it up. Let me not cho too much. If you watched this video, maybe this topic interests you as much as it does, and you probably enjoy watching me say all those things. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting in advance if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.